This is Zhiliu, whose allegiance is to the Everspring. She's a new 5-star character in Duet Night Abyss, closed beta 2. And she's an Electro character with melee. And I would consider she's probably one of the most powerful characters they've added. I wouldn't be surprised if she got nerfed on release, but let's talk about her. Right off the bat, she's a DPS skill damage character, and we're going to look at her skills. So her first skill is Celestial Revelation. This has 2 functions. Zen and June is a damage attack to enemies in front of her. It gives her a talisman, which we'll talk about on the next ability. And June summons Ultra Shield, which is based off of character level. This tells the cap of her Ultra Shield. So Ultra Shield is a temp shield. It's separate from your shield and HP. So that is prioritized when in damage over your shield and HP. These are the attributes at level 3. It's 3% of her max shield. Of course, Ultra Shield has a limit. This is Heaven Earth Divination. So this is more complicated. This is why the talismans matter. There are actually multiple skills within this skill based off your talisman. Heaven Earth Divination, where if you have 2 talismans, you'll just deal damage in front of you. There's Thunder Earth Oracle Heal, where if you have 2 Gen, or the ones that you tap, not hold, it will just summon these giant swords that hit the enemies in a straight line in front of you. There's Myriad Things Thrive, where with June and Gen, doesn't matter which order, so tap and hold on her first skill, summons a dragon, creates an AoE called 4 Realms Align. That AoE lingers. Myriad Things Thrive is the dragon that she summons that effect. And there's Fortune Clarity, where it's to June, or the hold function, and this is just an AoE. And all these skills consume the talismans. However, the reason why she relies on melee is because her passive. So you can only hold up to 2 talismans, and the last one is replaced with whatever one you add. However, her weapon trigger probability influences the talisman she retains. So with attributes, it's up to 23. If you don't know what effect trigger probability is in Duet Night Abyss, it's a effect that triggers based off the damage type. And in this case, most of the elemental effects are like Electro are physical ones too. We don't need to worry about that. However, most characters have some sort of interaction with that mechanic. So I'm using the Wayne Wraith, which is a pole arm. This has a 33% trigger probability. And how I achieve that at level 33 is Cerebus Edge Trommel, which is slash attack and trigger probability, which is about 40. Rage, Cerebus is Rage Trommel, which is crit damage and trigger probability, and then Trommel, which is just another 40%. It's based off the base value of trigger probability. So the maximum we can get up to is 33, but at her level, with her passive skill level being 3, it only goes up to 23%. So we're a little over cap, but that's okay. Now, I did forget to talk about Heaven Earth Divination stat. These are just the stats. The range is massive on Heaven Earth Divination, even bigger on 4 Realms Aligned, which I'll showcase in a second what that's actually talking about. Then most of her other effects are about 7.8 meters. This is one of the reasons why she's so overpowered. Now, she does have other passives. I don't have them unlocked. Generation. When Julia or her nearby teammates deal electro damage, she gains a stack that increases morale up to 12 stacks. So we could see it's about 5% damage per stack. Lasts 6 seconds, pretty powerful. And Divine Retribution. So when she's deployed as a combat partner, she increases the attack for characters or their nearby electro teammate. So even though she's a DPS, she has some support functions that boost electro damage, which means you could probably run a full team of electro characters and she'd probably be really broken. Before we go into combat, let's talk about Demon Wedges, especially Elapse, Wings, Siren Wings, Inspo Guard, or Volition, which I haven't unlocked yet. I've been farming for it, but I haven't gotten it. And then Volition. These are the recommended ones that the game recommends to match with her, at least at the moment. What I have on her are Wings, Elapse, and Espespo Elapse, Spectrum for skill range, Iron Wings Espespo, and Phoenix Blessing Wings. Or that's because of Sanity and also Shield and also skill efficiency. I could throw an attack. It'd probably make her better. In fact, that is actually what I'm going to do. I'll put in Blaze so she actually does more damage. I think that's probably for the best. This wasn't leveled, so we're going to replace Espespo Elapse with Blaze just so we do more damage. We're also going to replace the efficiency skill that decreased HP, and I'm actually going to boost skill damage. This is probably a wiser choice. It's 24% skill damage. We're going to do more damage in this case, and that's why I want to do that. We have 12% efficiency, 144 max sanity, and keep in mind, it's only level 40 right now. This is very early game. The beta, unfortunately, only lasts for a certain amount of time, so I don't really have time to show what endgame truly looks like at high level. So this is going to be early game. It does show she has weapon proficiency in greatsword and dual pistols. So I actually went through, instead of using the scythe, we're going to use Ironforge because I just realized she has weapon proficiency. I should have mentioned that in the beginning. So this is just what I put on at the moment. The mission where I'll showcase her abilities will actually go in and upgrade this greatsword, but I can showcase her abilities in that case. So let's get to it. Now I am going to put down 2 characters just to make this a little easier. They're mostly just there for support. I won't put down Lady Knifeful because they're AoEs, but this guy will summon swords. Psyche has a range attack, but it shouldn't complicate what we're doing. So this is her second skill. Heaven Earth Divination without any talismans. This is her skill. And then Celestial Revelation. We can hold this. You can see the talisman appears at the bottom, or we could tap it. And then this would be the dragon. So we did hold, tap in any order, doesn't matter. And now there's this AoE around that just sort of targets enemies, like this enemy right here, Luno. And these are influenced by AoE, I believe, to the lightning bolts that come down. I've tested in Mystic Maze where I've had like even more skill range. It feels like 40% more skill range. Now it is embarrassing the enemies, our allies died, although they are level 40, but it is what it is. We didn't die. Against this Bombaholic down here, we will use 2 Zhen. You can see the Zhen just displace these little explosions. So we did this, a really cool ultimate, and then we could tap, hold this. It'll actually change how it works. Or we could do hold. You can see the purple at the bottom of the screen, or Ultra Shield, and we can tap this ability for an AoE character. Compared to a lot of the other characters, like even Lady Knifeful, who relies on skill range, I find this character incredibly, ridiculously powerful. I see a lot of people in the beta who also say the same thing, that she's just overpowered. So from the second closed beta that this video is recorded from, I wouldn't be surprised if she got nerfed. Now, I haven't had any confirmation from the devs. I haven't seen anything. We'll say that she'll be nerfed, but I would not be surprised. She is incredibly broken. If I was using an actual Electro team and not a Lumini team, we'd actually see how immensely powerful she could be with other characters to buff Electro damage. Now, I know I'm using a shotgun and not pistols, but we do have a greatsword. I don't know how much proficiency matters. I still haven't quite figured that out. Later video, I will put something in the description on each of these Duet Night Abyss videos where I explain that if I figure it out. Now let's just see how she works against like an objective. We can see her second skill. It does a little bit of damage. Our shotgun's honestly doing more. But let's see how the dragon does, right? This is probably her strongest ability. It also gives you iframe, so I like to use it in boss fights during certain attacks because I know you won't take damage during that long animation. So that actually is another reason why she's really powerful. The 4th weekly boss that you encounter in the story, which I won't spoil who it is incredibly difficult, especially when you're under-leveled. So she's really great in that fight, especially if you don't have a healer that you can summon, because you can outright just ignore some of the attacks, making her probably just, like I said, she's incredibly broken. This attack is single-handedly why she's so powerful. It makes her super lazy, but super powerful, and it's a really cool animation. Something I want to mention is she's not a standard banner character. So let me show the retrace for standard banner. Compared to the first closed beta, the characters in the standard banner are actually different now. As you can see, she's not there. So more than likely, Zhiliu will be a limited banner character, such as Psyche, who's the first limited banner character. So that means this is probably why she's so powerful, and more than likely why you should definitely save for that character and pull for her, unless of course you want Psyche. When the game comes out, and if she's not in standard banner, which I'm guessing she won't be based off of the information that we have, she's an absolute must-pull character. My own personal opinion, just based off the characters that I've seen between both betas. So I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of Zhiliu. She's an excellent character, and I highly recommend pulling for her. So far, she's been my favorite character gameplay-wise, but she's also incredibly lazy because of the dragon effect that she summons, such as what's right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if the developers nerfed her. But again, I hope you enjoyed. My name is Celestial, and I'm going to start making more videos on these gacha games, especially Duet Night Abyss, because I absolutely love this game. So you can hit like and subscribe, share with your friends, share with your grandma, I don't care. Hope you enjoy. Bye-bye.